Hello, everyone. It's this week's episode. I'm Jam,
I'm Cons.
and we are two bros interested in finance. So, how's your week been? And don't.
It's a tough week on the stock market. No, I'm joking. And now it's been a good week, man. Good week.
Yeah.
Pretty chill, nice weather outside, spending a lot more outdoor activities. I went outside Budapest for the weekend. Just came back pretty much to record this episode, right? But yeah, pretty chill. Nothing special, honestly. Just
Yeah,
relax.
I like that. I've been studying for gynecology. Also, at the same time, I'm doing this like research about critical care. I'm extracting the data for it, so I've been quite busy. And gynecology is kind of tough. Not gonna lie. I have my exam next week on Friday. Let's see. Hopefully, should be all right. But
Not
yeah,
sure,
other
bro.
than that, like the research has been making me quite busy. To be fair, not gonna lie, extracting the data for meta-analysis, it
Mm,
can be tough.
it's not the
But
most exciting either, no.
yeah, no, definitely not, definitely not. It's mostly like copy paste, like finding the data, copying pasting. But it's all right. Um, for the market, interesting week, don't you think?
Yeah. Ups and downs, brother. Ups and downs. It
Yeah, it was
feels.
it was a roller coaster.
Yeah. So I really thought we might have the bottom in for this week, at least for the American market.
Mm-hmm,
Um, I guess not. It's still up and down, right? So yeah, there's still a lot of uncertainty left. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting. I'm watching closely. We did have some activities, but yeah, still
I mean,
watching
to be
closely.
fair, what's it called? European markets were good.
Yeah, the DAX traded at an all-time high again this week, so
Yeah, yeah.
he's
FTSE
flying.
100 as well.
But damn.
So it was all good. So shall I start with the topics that we struggled with? Also, we should let people know that rather than 1 hour, we got feedbacks that we should make it very shorter because apparently it's difficult to watch it. So we're gonna try to make it like up to 20 minutes now. So we kind of need to rush a bit.
Yeah, let's hop in straight away. What's your first topic,
Yeah.
brother?
So I want to start with crypto. I think it's more like a tradition to start with crypto at this point. So I'm not going to talk much about it. I'm mostly going to talk about the news, which I believe that it's important. I'm not going to talk about prices because Bitcoin pricing, just like the crypto price, has been just dropping. To be fair, it hasn't been, let's say, that promising. It hasn't been that exciting. It's just sad lately. And other than that, I don't have much to say, to be fair. I don't know. If we check the uh, coin market cap top 100 index, uh, it's like for the last 7 days, it's a minus by 3.8%, which is bad. But yeah, top 100 index hasn't been going well. And also, the important things that I want to say about crypto is I want to start with the less important and I want to go for the more important news. So, the less
Hmm.
important news here is, which I believe still is an important part, but it's not as important as the other ones. Texas just passed a bill, like as a state, that they
Yeah,
are
yeah.
going to use public funds for buying Bitcoin reserve.
They're gonna
Uh,
use which funds?
Public funds.
Ah, okay.
So they just passed a bill. So they're basically saying that we are going to have a strategic Bitcoin reserve as Texas, which I believe that is definitely a positive sentiment. And Texas is a big state. Maybe it's not California. Maybe it's not what was New York state, like the NYC state? I forgot. Right?
I'm not good with
We don't know.
American geography, bro.
California, California. It's not California. Like California is like really big. as a state. I think like the California's economy GDP is bigger than Germany, for example.
Yeah, I think they passed
Yeah,
last
right.
year. Last year they passed
Yeah,
us.
stuff like that. I think this is a really good sentiment, but at the same time, it's only a state. And the more important thing is Trump finally signed saying that there's going to be a Bitcoin national reserve. Like this is official now. Trump is saying that, also said that, also signed the bill and everything, that there's going to be a national crypto reserve, a strategic reserve for United States. But the catch here is they said they are only going to use the ones that they have seized from criminal activities and so on. So they're not going to buy new ones, but they're going to use the ones and keep the ones that they already have, which is a bit negative sentiment in my opinion, and a bit sad because that's not what he promised for, in my opinion. Not only what he promised for, like he didn't give hopes to us for this. Like we always thought that there was going to be new buys, but there isn't something like this. But this is definitely positive. At least they're not selling; they're holding on to them. I think Trump wants to buy more, but I guess in his plate there are more important things for US. That's why he's not doing it yet. But I think he did this just to make crypto people happy at least a bit. And there was a crypto summit on the in the White House on Saturday, I guess. Don't Yeah, I think it was Saturday. Uh no promises, no news, no whatsoever. It wasn't interesting. It was okay. So yeah, that's what I would say for crypto. Yeah, what's your take on this?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't hear about the Texas news. The
Hmm.
summit I didn't really know about. Was that the same thing where Trump signed this order? Or was this the same thing happening? No,
It was
no.
it was before that. It was
Ah,
before
okay.
that.
So yeah, I didn't know about both of them. Because you know me, I'm not really that up to date with crypto. But what I did see is not much movement, right? So even though this order happened with Trump, I only saw the funny comments he did as well. We're never gonna sell it. That's what you do with crypto, or something
Yeah.
like this. You know how he talks. I find it highly entertaining. You know me. Um,
Also, I must say, I'm sorry, I must say, he is encouraging crypto firms, crypto companies to be established in US. Because he said something about taxation of the cryptos, that he's not going to put tariffs on cryptos, something like that, if they are based in US. So, like, what he's trying to do
yeah.
with other companies, like chip companies, manufacturing companies, whatever, he's trying to do the same thing with crypto companies.
Hmm. Is
So yeah.
Does that even make sense?
It would make sense in a way that, for example, the most used stable coin, USDT, Tether USD, is based in UK. Like, I think
Hmm.
it's from British Isles. Not UK, but British Isles, Isle of Man or something like that. Some colony of Britain. Um, for
But
example, it's banned
yeah.
now in EU.
Hmm.
Um, you can only use USDC and some other stable coins in EU now. Like if you go to your account, you can't buy anything with USDT anymore if you are based in EU and if you have an EU bank account. So it's starting to become important, and I think what Trump is doing good for America.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, with the whole tariffs, it's a little bit, I feel like it's a little bit of an edgy situation. I don't know how it will like turn out. Um, I have no idea. I can't even imagine like tariffs on crypto. Somehow I don't even know how that would work. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I've seen the crypto just struggle the past weeks, right? Just like the stock market. So I'm a bit cautious, but I'm gonna hold on to my whatever positions
Stock
I have.
market is okay. Stock market is okay. When a share drops, it drops like 1%, 2% daily. In crypto, it just drops 5%,
Yeah, yeah, of
6%,
course.
7%. And
Yeah.
that's only Bitcoin. Like if you think of the altcoins,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
disgusting. 10%, 12%.
Yeah, Bitcoin is actually one of the more stable ones, like, or rather
Yeah,
stable,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
But some of those meme coins as well can drop like 20, 50%. But yeah, otherwise, I don't have much extra to say to crypto. Is there anything, maybe coming back to you, is there anything from the crypto space that is interesting right now, like short-term opportunity or long-term?
There's nothing here. There's nothing more that I can talk about. I think you can take it on from here.
Nice, yeah. I would love to talk, since we're already with crypto and kind of America. I would switch to my American topic. And yeah, stock market, right? We already touched on it. Going
Mhm.
down, going sideways, everything but going up. So I think there's a couple of opportunities right now in the market, especially Max 7, maybe potentially. Maybe talking about companies that we really don't talk that much often about. It's like Microsoft and Meta. What do you think about these? I think they're looking kind of hot right now. They're not doing bad, like especially Meta, um, around 25 PE ratio. That's not bad.
I don't have much idea about Meta. Sorry, Microsoft. Not gonna lie, but in terms of Meta, I don't think that I trust Zuckerberg enough. He goes on to podcasts saying, "Oh, Apple is not innovative," and then you look at Meta,
Sorry.
like what they have done.
Yeah, I feel like,
You
okay,
know,
I bought Meta stock in the 2023 crash. No, sorry,
yeah.
2022 crash, was it? Yes, 2022 crash.
Mhm.
And
Was it already Meta at that time?
yeah, it was already Meta. All right.
Hmm.
I think they changed around 2020, something like this. But it had a
Mm.
huge drop, and the way the stock developed now, it's $600. I sold early, that's for sure. Same reason as you, man. I don't really know what Facebook is really doing. For me, Facebook is also kind of a dead social media platform. But then again, they also own Instagram, right? And they also own
Mm.
WhatsApp, right? Is also Meta. And then this whole metaverse thingy, which is maybe interesting, um, but yeah, from a company perspective, I'm not really that like, oh, it's the most amazing company. I prefer Google, for example, just from innovation and stuff like this. And I don't really believe in the metaverse so crazy that everybody is gonna walk around with a headgear in the future. I don't really see that. But what I do see is Meta's beautiful balance sheet. So you can't deny the revenue
Mm.
just keeps going up. The active users keep going up. I don't know. I mean, I'm not really on Facebook anymore. I barely use Messenger, but I know, for example, in countries like Hungary, it's still the number one Messenger app. So Messenger is really
That's the
used.
thing. I was gonna say in Turkey we don't use Facebook anymore, but when I came here to Hungary to study,
Yeah,
I was like, I
yeah.
realized that I needed to have a Facebook, so I needed to open a new account.
Yeah, they love it here. It's the same in the UK. It was never really a thing. Or in Germany, we always use WhatsApp. WhatsApp is so much easier. I mean, it's the same
Yeah,
company, right? But you see my point, which means users are drawn away from Facebook. And I feel like
yeah,
Facebook is kind of like, oh, you're 40 plus years old and you're gonna use
yeah,
Facebook,
yeah,
right?
100%, 100%. Where you get your fake news.
Uh, you get your fake news and really questionable memes.
Yeah.
Um, that's where we get our memes from now. No, but yeah, I think it's interesting, right? Because it's part of those stocks which have been hit a little bit in the past week or so. Um,
Yeah.
but nothing has changed in the company. And maybe if we switch to Microsoft, it's also trading quite cheaply for being Microsoft, right? But on the other hand, I think Microsoft is a little bit more attractive as a company. What do you think? Do you like
Mm,
Microsoft? Have you looked at it before?
I didn't look at it. Not gonna lie. But for me personally, I think more or less you're the same as well. I need to be able to tell myself that, oh, this company is for me. Like I am some sort of in some sort of a connection with this company, and I use Mac. I'm an Apple
Mm,
fanboy. Like,
mhm,
you know,
mhm.
I don't use Microsoft, so I don't even check Microsoft. But I don't know. I just feel like Microsoft. Like, what is Microsoft doing as well? Don't know. Look, I'm not saying that they are bad stocks.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying Meta, Microsoft, these are never bad buys. I'm like
Mhm.
these are really huge companies. I don't think that they will ever be bad buys. It's just not for me, if that makes sense. And I'm not giving them, making like telling them. I'm not talking badly about them. It's
Yeah.
just not for me.
No, no, I get you 100%. Like
Hmm.
it's like Apple is not for me, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
it's like you said, if you don't own the product, why should you buy the stock, right? You don't believe in your everyday. You don't use like I don't use Apple iPhone, so why should I buy the stock? You buy Apple iPhone because you like the product, which means you
Hmm.
like the stock, right? You like the company and what it stands for. But on the same, like I'm a little bit the same with Microsoft. I put it a little bit into the Apple region for me
Hmm.
because I know you're gonna hate me for that. But Microsoft and we talked about this last week as well, right? Apple, or I criticized Apple. Where's the innovation? In the last, we're waiting for Apple Car. We're waiting for something. What is Microsoft doing? I can't really. Uh,
Microsoft is not
I
doing anything.
they
Yeah,
bought
at least not that I hear of.
yeah, they bought Nokia, right, a long time ago, or they bought the patent rights at least to the phone. And remember, I don't know if you were like 10, 15 years ago, we had the Microsoft phone or something like this, they tried to enter the market, but
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
nothing
It was
there.
Nokia, no?
No, I think it was
It was in with
incorporation.
Nokia.
Yeah, yeah, with
Yeah,
the Microsoft
yeah, yeah, yeah.
software on a phone, which was interesting. But
Lumia,
there's nothing.
Lumia,
Yeah.
Lumia phones.
Yeah.
Nokia Lumias. Yeah,
So you know what I mean. Like I don't
yeah.
really know. I'm not really the biggest fan of the newest Windows updates either. I feel like the best Windows we had was probably 7 or XP, good old days.
Mm.
But you know what I mean. There's nothing like, oh,
Yeah,
it's a lot
I
of
know.
cloud happening and stuff like this. But I feel like I don't know, you don't really hear anything from Microsoft. Oh, wow,
To be fair,
groundbreaking new technology.
no, I don't. I don't use Microsoft, but that doesn't mean that I don't follow a company as big as Microsoft. I do follow it, but I watch a lot of live streams on Kick,
Hmm.
like people gaming and everything. Every time there is an update on Windows or
Hmm.
there's a new Windows coming, they always they always complain about the bugs that it also brings with it. You're using Windows, like, is that true? I don't think that my streamers are lying, but it's just like are they making a good job?
So the thing is, like, I don't know, man. Like, there's a constant trade. I'm sure you see it in the iOS of Apple as well. Um, to simplify everything, trying to
Hmm.
make
Hmm.
it more modern, trying to make it look better, whatever your taskbar on the bottom of your PC, or simple things. I'm not the biggest fan of all these new updates either. I prefer of them to work, obviously, and like I've never had really any bad experience, like bugs or stuff like this with my Microsoft, from my side at least. um but they're trying to fix something which doesn't need fixing, like,
Yeah,
you can update your software and you can make it more sleek, but don't destroy the interface. Everybody who works with Windows, and I'm sure it's the same with Apple, they know where everything is. And if you start switching
yeah,
around
yeah,
where the settings are, or where you can, do this and that,
yeah,
then it just gets annoying. So yeah,
yeah.
it is what it is. But just seeing here as
No,
well
I
that
get it.
Microsoft owns, obviously, Xbox as well, right? Which is also Microsoft gaming
Uh,
and a
but
lot of game
it's worse
studios.
than, yeah, it's worse than PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I was always a PlayStation guy as well. But yeah, it seems how it is. I guess those are two from the Max 7 that I kind of find interesting, or they are at least on sale on a discount, right? I'm definitely
Mhm.
gonna keep watching them if they have a stronger drawback. Um, I think the numbers are still beautiful, and probably both of them are still good investments, right? Microsoft or
Yeah.
Meta, long term wise. Um, but yeah, I don't know much to say about this. I'm gonna keep watching them.
So I want to continue with banks. I'm a big fan of banks, investing in banks, and
Convinced me, bro.
lately, yeah, lately, European banks have been going really well. I checked the other day, Eurostox banks index year to date 32% up, nearly 33% up. Index itself. Um, and
Hmm.
the banks that I follow is Banco Santander, biggest lender in Spain, as far as I know, BNP Paribas, biggest lender in France, and Deutsche,
Hmm.
biggest lender in Europe. And I believe that they are going well. They might have hit their highs. They might have a withdrawal, but I still do think that in the long term they are going to be good picks for this year. And my favorite one is BNP, the French bank, because Deutsche is having a lot of internal problems that I don't really like. And Banco Santander, the Spanish bank, it doesn't seem the best bank compared to Paribas. But BNP seems like the best one, and I check their loan to deposit ratios, like the metrics for banks. They seem really good as well. And on top of that, after I talk with European banks, I must say that American banks have been really slow. Not only slow, they have been minus. Especially
Yeah.
Bank of America that I really want to buy, that I don't have it in my portfolio currently, but I will have it for sure. I think American banks have more potential, but banks in general, I think it's not going to be a sad story for this year. What do you think about this?
Um, yeah. Well, the only thing I can really say, I mean, yeah, like you said, I'm not the biggest fan of banks.
Mhm.
Um, I think from straight out the top of my head, I would probably choose BNP Paribas as well, just
Mm.
because I know Deutsche Bank, like you said, internal problems, but there's always some controversy around Deutsche Bank. There's always some, I don't know, it just, it's the largest bank, but there's some mafia dodginess behind it. I swear to God, it has
Don't, no, no,
some
no, don't say it, don't
dodginess.
say it, don't say it. No, we are still in EU. You look. It's not, hey, prosecutor. It's not me who's saying that.
Oh
It's him.
no. We're not talking about Boeing, don't worry. But yeah, like my father had Deutsche Bank. I told you this. We talked
Yeah.
about this like in the last two podcasts. I mentioned it as well. He sold it now, so and it went up like 10% the other day,
It
last week.
was crazy this week. And to be fair, in the last 2, 3 weeks, banks have been crazy. I'm telling you, year to date, European banks 32% up in total.
Yeah, I mean they definitely benefit these days. Um, I don't know, man. Like I'm if the I mean from graph wise, BNP Paribas definitely looks the best. I'm
To be fair, loan to deposit ratio, which is a quite important of a metric for a bank. I'll send you the data later. I don't think that you
yeah.
can find it there. Um, it looks the most stable and the best one, best looking. So yeah,
For BNP, right?
BNP
Yeah.
Paribas, yeah.
Yeah, even if I look at the just basic graphs as well, it has a nice upward trend in net income, earnings per share, and even a share buyback program they have apparently, right? Because their shares
Yeah.
outstanding are reduced as well and increasing dividends. So definitely attractive as a long-term investment.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, wait, let me check for Deutsche what I can say. The only thing I can say is like my father bought it like 8 years ago and I held it 6 years in the minus Deutsche Bank or 7 years in the minus. He finally went up and now he sold. And I told my dad, Voila, finally it's going to the plus. Why you're selling? Like, finally
Yeah,
there is an
yeah.
upwards trend, right? And clearly banks are doing fine now. Now is not the time to sell. You had enough.
And I believe that, especially, I'm sorry,
Mhm.
continue.
No, no, no. Like I was just saying, like especially after all these years of waiting, right? When you hold a stock in the minus while collecting dividends, and then it suddenly does this 10, 20%, right, within weeks. I think that's the time where you keep holding, and your patience pays off of holding it so many years in the minus, right? Because it does happen. It
Yeah.
does not matter with which stock; it can definitely happen. You will hold it in the minus, preferably not, but yeah.
I think Bank of America here is like, especially with the Trump administration, because he kept talking about these deregulations. So I think that's going to help banks a lot as well, especially the American ones.
Bank of America, yeah, yeah. I don't think Trump's intent is to hurt the American economy too much. So in general, I think they're all gonna be fine in the next 3 months, probably. No. Is Bank of
Yeah, that's
America your preferred stock, or would you rather go with BNP and Europe right now?
Bank of America right now. At least the European banks have been going up, 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 up. There's going to be a realization when that happens. I'll buy a European bank as well, but not now, not at this very moment.
Fair enough. Yeah, yeah. I would not buy. Maybe after a financial crash, to be fair,
Yeah, yeah,
scoop
those are the
up the
best times.
cheap shares of banks.
Yeah.
But yeah. Um, from my side, there's nothing to contribute to banks,
Okay.
honestly.
Okay.
Don't really know that much either. Um, but yeah, then I would continue, no? Last
Go for it.
another short short topic, and that's JD.com
I've
from.
checked JD.com after you said it.
I like that, bro. I like that. So yeah, they had their earnings last week, like we discussed, or like how we forecasted, and they beat their earnings. So it's really not bad. They had a 15% revenue increase year over year,
Mhm.
and net revenue was also 13, sorry, no, 14%. So 15 and 14% increase. So yeah, for me, JD.com, I'm an owner of this stock, Chinese, risky. We all know it.
Yeah.
Same story as always. It is China. But for me, JD.com is very interesting just because they've been putting out a really good numbers quarterly in the past 2 and 3 years. And I think it kind of shows in the stock market performance or in the stock performance a little bit. It's year to date, it's up 23%, right? Yes. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's trying to do a comeback. Revenue increase every quarter. Their free cash flow is amazing, I think, and yeah, also with amazing share buyback program. So I'm really hyped. I'm gonna keep holding. I'm really confident with Chinese stocks right now, and I kind of see the consumer spending confidence coming back a little bit more into the China market, right? And yeah, I don't know. I mean, JD.com lacks one thing, and that's the whole AI and technology thing. It's not really a big vibe around that because it's truly, truly fully e-commerce, right? And it doesn't really work with third parties or anything like this, like you see on Amazon, third party sellers or stuff like
Hmm.
this. It's strictly from JD.com. But I think they have a good market, and I think they're gonna keep continue recovering, especially as the Chinese population or the Chinese consumer starts spending more money, hopefully.
The thing that I can say about JD.com is, it has competitors, big competitors. Amazon is definitely one of them. Um,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I don't think that they're even comparable. Amazon is too big. And also, another thing that they compete with is Tmall, which is Alibaba product.
No,
And
Temu is Pinduoduo.
no, Tmall, like
So Tmall. So
Mall.
okay, yeah, okay, okay, Tmall. Okay.
Yeah, Tmall, not Tmall. Tmall, it's an Alibaba run product, and Alibaba is too big, and Alibaba is doing quite good AI things. So
Hmm.
I don't know if I were to be an investor. I don't like China. I think it's too risky for me. I don't like Chinese stocks in general. But I would rather invest in Alibaba
I get your point, 100%. Not gonna lie.
because
I
they are
mean,
doing Alibaba is doing really good AI things.
mhm. No, I agree. So that's the main issue with JD. They don't really run the hype train with the AI. They mention it like in the earnings, not really. It takes up absolutely nothing from the revenue as well. But what JD.com has is all the logistics behind it, behind the whole thing.
Okay.
So what they do have is a little bit more seriousness as well in the retailing space than Alibaba, because Alibaba has these third-party sellers, right? So you can go on
Mhm.
Alibaba and sell your shit, and that might be
Mhm.
like Temu kind of trash.
Mm.
And JD.com has a quite good reputation under Chinese people from my perspective.
Okay.
But they have this infrastructure and logistics that Alibaba doesn't really have. So it's a little bit different, but of course they are direct competitors. You're not wrong with that.
Okay.
Alibaba is more interesting right now because of DeepSeek and stuff like this, that's for sure. Um, but the only competitors in China itself is just JD.com against Alibaba, against Pinduoduo or Temu, right? And I'm really not a big fan of Pinduoduo. That's a shady ass company. If we really talk about shady Chinese company, we can throw Pinduoduo right at the top, because questionable things and questionable business standards for sure. Um, but yeah, that's I think they're gonna do well, hopefully, in the coming months. We'll see.
Let's see.
Um,
Yeah.
what do you think about the numbers in general, like cash flow and revenue and stuff like this? Does
It
that
seems
like
it seems okay. It seems okay. Revenue is increasing. Earnings per share is a bit questionable. Free cash flow is in a good thing. Yeah, and shares outstanding. Like I guess people are selling.
no, they're doing
Cash.
a share buyback program. So most Chinese companies have been doing this for the last 2 years because they've been so undervalued. They've just been buying back their own shares pretty much.
Okay.
So, which is obviously a good
Uh,
sign if a company does
but
that.
shares outstanding is increasing, not decreasing.
No, it has decreased a little bit.
And annually, it didn't.
So annually, not. No, I've been looking at the quarterly trailing 12 months. Sorry.
Okay. But yeah, other than that, I don't have much to say. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, not much from my side as well. It was
Okay.
happy earnings, and otherwise, yeah. I guess let's check next week's earnings this coming week, maybe quickly.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just like really briefly, not more than 10 seconds, I would say.
Yeah, I don't think there's so much going on except maybe
Mhm.
Volkswagen on Tuesday, which is kind of interesting. But for you, should be interesting on Wednesday morning, Heinmetall.
I'm okay. Like I'm not even worried.
I know, but yeah, okay, okay, fair. You don't really check them, or it's something that isn't on your radar.
That's not.
Okay,
With the current politics going on, it's not at all.
okay, and yeah,
That's it.
what
And
do
one more thing before we close up, we picked 5 stocks each, in total 10. We created our portfolios, and these are top picks for 2025 for us. Let's see how it's gonna go. And I've got ASML, Amazon, Google, Bank of America, Netflix. And what do you have?
that is a good question. Sorry, I know I do have ASML, and sorry, ASML, Google, Novo Nordisk, which is quite a famous company, AMD, and Evolution, which I haven't talked about at all. but I might throw it in the next week just to get
Okay.
something about it.
So the
Um,
only clash that we have, only common to are ASML and Google, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's see how it's gonna go.
So
And we'll
yeah,
just put them under the below the video as well in that thingy.
yeah, I'll link it in the
So yeah,
video
that's
description.
it.
You guys can check it out anytime. Maybe we'll throw some watch lists in there. We'll see how we keep things as we go on, no, as well, and
Yeah,
we'll update.
exactly. I think that's
Awesome,
okay. Okay.
perfection.
Thank you for this episode. Thank you for watching. Like, follow, everything. Subscribe.
Subscribe, share with your dog, preferably. Ciao, ciao.
Share with your grandma. Everyone.
Yeah, everyone,
Bye bye.
everyone. Ciao, ciao.